Day 5, Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon. So I stayed in Flagstaff. That's where my hotel was because that's along Route 66. But I couldn't get that close to the Grand Canyon and not go check it out. So my hotel was about an hour. So I got up in the morning and ate some breakfast and then drove the hour up there. Got some supplies like some drinks and some snacks and um, just decided I'd go on there. I researched what trail to do, and I wanted to find one that was a good length that I could do in one day, but still like not too hard to where I'm like dying. But just I found a good one called Bright Angel Trailhead. But um, as soon as I got there, there was this guy. Yeah, that's just a Cookie Monster guy. Don't know what he was doing there. I saw him and asked, "Hey, what's up? Like, what do you do?" And he just looks at me and goes, "Cookies!" So that was pretty entertaining, but I just thought that was pretty fun. So then I get to Bright Angel Trailhead, and here's me at the top of it before I depart. And I just go down and take my time, kind of enjoying it. It was gorgeous. I mean, here's just some of the photos. Photos aren't going to do it justice, but it can at least give you a taste. But it is genuinely one of the most gorgeous places I've ever seen. So here I'm kind of going down. It's about 3 o'clock, I think, when I start, maybe a little earlier. And so most people are kind of coming up. I'm going down, and there's this little like cave entrance here that we go in. But I saw to the right of it that there's this little hole that you'll see, and I was like, wait, I can do that. I can go around that way. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go off the path and climb on the mountain a little bit and get to that hole. Um, and so I did, and it was super fun just to kind of go off the path. And so yeah, I'm going down, and there's this sign about mules, which I thought was pretty funny, just giving them the right of way. Um, so yeah, it was gorgeous though, and I went pretty far. I made a lot of stops along the way, just documenting like how gorgeous it was. I mean, there's so many videos of just me like, wow, this is just breathtakingly gorgeous.
All right, everyone. Day 5 of the trip. We're here in the Grand Canyon. My gosh, look at this place. This is amazing. Gonna be here for a while. Gonna watch the sunset here. So stay tuned, stay updated, and more to come.
And here's one of me actually as I'm on my way down, where I'm talking about like seeing cacti and cactus, which was pretty fun. And
I got some cacti over here. Pretty cool. Never actually seen like live cacti as far as I remember, at least. So pretty neat, man. This is awesome.
yeah, so that was pretty neat. And then I continued down, and they had some stops and some bathrooms and some like rangers posted along the way to tell you like, hey, you're hitting this point. The next stopping point isn't for another few miles. Are you sure you want to keep going? Do you have water? Like, make sure you're staying safe. All that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I actually ended up talking to one of the rangers, and that was awesome because it was his birthday, believe it or not, and he was just there as a volunteer, but he does it every summer, he said, and he's been doing it for like 18 years. It was super cool. I just got to hear all about like his experiences, and he told me some trail recommendations for in the future, which I thought was awesome. So that was super cool. And yeah, then I just kind of kept going, and I think I ended up going about 3.5 miles down before I turned back, maybe 4. I went a long way, and it was worth it. Because the reason I went at this time of night was I wanted to try and watch the sunset over the Grand Canyon, and then be able to like kind of see it at night as well. So
What's up, y'all? Made it to the end of the trail for today. Going back up now. But wow, one of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring places I've ever seen. The hike was absolutely worth it, so enjoyable. And now on my way back up, I get to watch the sunset, see the stars. Just overall, great experience. Definitely recommend. I can't get over how amazing this place is. I will definitely be back here for a multi-day hike one day to explore more of this place and just see what all is out there, because this is incredible, guys. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Go see it yourself one day. Highly recommend. But yeah, great day, great hike, beautiful sight.
That's what I did, and here's kind of the sun setting, and the really cool thing happened, which I talked about. So watch that to like kind of hear about it.
Okay. Okay, I doubt my camera will describe this well enough. But right now, at the Grand Canyon, the sun is set, but the moon hasn't risen above it yet. So I'm literally standing here as light and dark collide. It's like there's just this purple mist all over because it's not sure if it should be dark or light yet. One of the coolest things I've ever seen.
So yeah, that was just gorgeous to see. I mean, the way it like was dark and light at the same time was awesome. Um, as the sun was starting to set, there was this animal right here that literally just showed up like out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from, but it just showed up and like stood there. So I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" Had to get some photos of that because it was just too cool not to. And so I did that, and then kept going, and spent a lot of time while I was hiking just appreciating God's creation, talking to Him, and just like admiring what He's done, because it truly was the most gorgeous place. And when I say that, like, it left me full of awe and wonder more than anything else ever has, I mean it. It was like I've never felt that kind of sense of awe and wonder of God as I have when I saw the Grand Canyon, and it was just so cool to see. Um, got to hear a really cool story. So something I tried to do on this whole trip was be intentional with people and just talk to them, get to know travelers, because it's cool. And there was one guy, as it was kind of almost completely dark. I'm going up, he's going down, and I joked with him. I was like, "Oh wow, you going down this dark? It's a little late for that, haha." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm going down because you see those houses over there." And it was just bright enough that I could see the houses he was pointing at. But he says, "Yeah, those houses in between the trees have been in my family for at least 5 generations, probably longer." And so we just go there. But for my 80th birthday tomorrow, I'm going down there, and my family is going to be there, and we're going to celebrate and have a good day. And I was just like, "Oh, that's awesome." And he says, "Yeah, my great grandfather did it, my great grandfather did it, my grandfather did it, my father did it, and now I'm doing it." And we go down, and he said it was the reason he's going at night is because it'll take him pretty much all night to get there, because it was a good bit away. And um, he was like, "Yeah, I turn 80 tomorrow, and this is what I'm gonna do." And then he was like, "Yeah, and when it's over, my family will go, but me and my wife will stay." And I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And he just said, "Well, my grandfather and my father are all buried down there. So because this is probably the last time I'll be able to make this hike, I don't plan on leaving." And I was like, "Oh," and he said, "Don't worry, I'm not suicidal, haha. I have a ton of food and stuff down there, so I'm not like gonna die right away. But me and my wife plan on spending however much time God gives us left down there together in the most beautiful place we know, so that when I die eventually, my family will come down and bury me next to my generations before me." And I was like, "That's honestly really cool." And he said, "Yeah, I've lived a great life. God has given me a great life, and um, now it's time to just enjoy some time with my wife and enjoy His creation. And besides, when I do finally die and get to meet Christ, I want to meet Him in the most beautiful place I know, which is His most beautiful creation of the Grand Canyon. So yeah, I'm going down there, and I was just like, wow, that's super cool. So just a cool story, but um, yeah, then I kept going up, and by this point it's completely dark, and so here I am at the top of the trailhead, back where I started after probably 7 or 8 hours of hiking, and just because I took my time with it, like I wanted to take my time, and there was so much to see, and so many times that like this where I would just stop and appreciate where I was at. So
Sitting out here watching the sunset of the Grand Canyon on my way back up, and just had to hop on here and say, like, one of the most peaceful feelings in the world right here. I don't know if I've ever felt so much peace and just so much calmness. Like, this is amazing, y'all. So good.
um, yeah, and then I'm walking back, and I saw the perfect ending to a perfect day, and here's an explanation of that.
Well, I'm back to my car now. Took a bus and all that to get back, but then had about a half-mile walk back to my car, and wow. The stars were out. There was not a light in the sky, like no city light or anything, just stars. And if you know me, you know I love stars. But seeing that was breathtaking. Just how many stars are up there and how beautiful it looked was indescribable. I took some photos of it, and let me tell you, that won't be enough to fully describe how amazing that was. Those stars were just genuinely one of the most beautiful things I've ever looked at, and I just sat and watched them for like 30 minutes. It was amazing. So pics to come, but yeah, now back to my hotel in Flagstaff, and then that'll do it for day 5 of my trip. And tomorrow, last leg of Route 66, but then more adventures after that. So stay tuned, and gonna be a good time.
Yeah, so as I said in that, it was just it was gorgeous, and here are the stars that I was talking about in that. And let me tell you, it was bright and clear enough that I didn't even have to change any settings on my phone. That was purely just how bright and clear they were. And if you know me, you know I love stars. Stars and mountains are like two of my favorite things, and those stars were the most beautiful way to end a night. I just literally sat there for like 30 to 40 minutes just looking at the stars. I was like the only car left in the parking lot, but I was just having a great time, and so that was such a gorgeous day, and the weather was perfect too that day. It was kind of a blessing because like the day before and the 2 weeks like following that or before that, it had been like 107 for 2 weeks straight or something. And then I looked, and like the next day was gonna be like 120. But the day I was there was in between two heat waves, so it was like 83 with a little bit of wind, and it was so nice. It was not hot. It was perfect hiking weather, so that was just a huge blessing just to be able to enjoy that. And yeah, it was a great day. On my way down, I did stop and get this hat of the Grand Canyon at the gift shop because it was still open. I had to get a Grand Canyon hat, especially since I'm trying to get stuff of just fun things I did on this trip. I couldn't not get the Grand Canyon because that was by far the most gorgeous like place of God's creation I've seen. Um, I will definitely be back one day. It was so good, so worth it. So yeah, that was my day 5, day 6, whatever it was. I drove back down to my hotel and slept very good that night after a long day. So yeah, join me for the next part, which is day 6 of the last leg of my Route 66 trip. But yeah, that was a great day.